It is time now to bring in national co-chair for the Trump campaign, Sam Clovis. Good morning, Sam. First, I got to get your thoughts. Do you believe President Obama founded ISIS?
I think that the foreign policy of this country for the last 7.5 years has led directly to the creation of these cells around the world, and I really do, because of our abandonment of the battlefield, our feckless policies, our support of the Muslim Brotherhood, our horrible plan with Iran. All of these issues have furthered the cause of terrorism and radical Islam around the world because we haven't put up much of a fight.
Sam, that's, I would say, a fair and if you choose, a reasonable argument to be made that it's about foreign policy, but that's not what Donald Trump is saying. He's saying President Obama is the founder. Is that not a dangerous, inflammatory thing to say from someone who's running to be president of the United States?
Well, I don't think so. I think you have to take a look at it from the audience perspective. He's talking to the audience. I don't think the audience is going to have any trouble understanding exactly what he's saying. I think that the whole issue is that you state things in very simple terms. People will get that. They'll understand what he was trying to say. I don't think anybody looks at the fact that President Obama was on the ground over there organizing meetings or doing any of that. That's not the intent, and that isn't what was said. It's just the idea is that these policies have led to a furtherance of the growth of radical Islam in the world. And I don't think there's anyone who can dispute that.
Well, Ryan, you know, it's been reported in Time magazine, they've got the Donald Trump meltdown on the cover this week, reporting that Reince Priebus is sick of Donald Trump's antics, being off message, and has even threatened to pull funding and focus that RNC funding on Senate ballots, on Senate races. Do you know that to be the case?
Well, I will tell you, I just was sitting in the green room and coming in here and got a communication from the RNC that is categorically false, that there's no discussion at all about pulling resources from the campaign by the RNC. So I got that literally just seconds before I came in here, Stephanie.
Well, there's something you would probably know. Donald Trump, in that Time magazine article, has said experts and advisors have told him to soften his message a bit. Clearly, diplomacy, compassion, these are important characteristics for someone running for president. But Mr. Trump said, nope, I'm sticking to my plan. I'm going to become the next president of the United States this way, or I'll take a long vacation. From your perspective, is he not listening to you? Do you believe he needs to soften up?
I think that the approach that any candidate should take, and it doesn't matter whether you're running for city council or running for president of the United States, is you have to give people a reason to vote for you and not against the other candidate. At the end of the day, you have to have that positive action for people to get up off of the couch, go to the voting booth, fill out that absentee ballot if that's how they choose to vote. You have to give them a reason to vote for you. And we have so many things that we should be advancing out here. Foreign policy is just one of them. The whole issue on the economy. And Mrs. Clinton, I just saw the report you had on just before, Stephanie. I was sitting there in utter awe of the rationalization of Mrs. Clinton's proposed economic plan. And I'm sitting there thinking is that perhaps I'd been caught in the tornado. Dorothy, Toto, and I had been transformed into the Wizard of Oz.
I don't want to see you in any red slippers, Sam, but as it relates to the economy, and Donald Trump has said, I'm going to get companies, manufacturing here. If he continues what I'm going to call his side game with all of these comments that one could argue are inflammatory, how could corporate CEOs, even if they agree with him, get behind him and say, yes, I'm with Donald Trump, while he continues to do things just like last night, calling President Obama Barack Hussein Obama, which you know, Sam, is going to stir up this birther thing again.
Well, I think that there are a lot of these issues that when you go in front of an audience, a lot of times you get caught up in the moment. I'm not trying to rationalize or excuse it. I just know that I've been at these rallies. I've actually had the chance to speak at some of these rallies in the past, and I know that when you walk into an auditorium, it's got 25,000 people, and if you've never spoken to a crowd that size, or you get inside and that energy is there, a lot of times you'll get on a roll, and oftentimes you're not as artful in your delivery as perhaps you would intend to be in the quiet of your office or in a one-on-one interview.
Stay inside that rally with me, the rally last night. What was Mark Foley doing sitting behind Donald Trump? Mark Foley said he's a friend of Donald Trump, and Donald's been a supporter of his for years. This right after Donald saying optically it looked terrible for Hillary Clinton to have the Orlando shooter's father behind her.
Well, the whole issue of who gets invited to these, and a lot of times, again, I'm not trying to rationalize, but a lot of times your advanced people will get in there. They'll get these people placed and seated into these situations here, and I think that what you see oftentimes, the candidate really has no idea who's sitting back there.
But you know, we make this argument up. Dang it, Sam, we're out of time. Do you know what that means? It means you have to come back soon. Thanks, Sam Clovis, for joining me this morning. Sorry, Sam, we got to pay the bills. Commercial time.
All right.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.